Why did it take coming to the anti-tower for Heidelin to say, hey, why don't you meet my voice now? It's not like she hasn't done this before.
Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst.
Oh,
We are the word of the mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Heidelin guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea.
yeah, I forgot about that.
There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we had lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining.
So she kind of explains the rejoining here, but it's still very vague.
7 times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Asians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
So I don't know if I'm going to remember everything she said correctly. Oh, there's more.
Thank the 12!
Did you find her? Did you find Minfilia?
Yeah. I mean, she's fine, as it were. She's safe or alive, sorta. She's not dead.
The word of the mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfilia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Asians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No, this is all wrong.
Man, heavy scene. Heavy scene. Okay, so much to talk about here. So yeah, as I was saying, to keep, like, I don't know that I'll be able to get everything that the word said exactly, but because she was saying that the light and the dark used to be one, and then they were divided, and then the dark Zodiark wanted more power, and she had to, I can't remember the word she said, but essentially take him down to stop that, and in so doing, divided the whatever, the source or whatever, into 10 and 13. Or not divided, there were shards created, because there's 14 overall, the source being essentially 0 plus, or the 1 plus 13 or whatever. But from what we know now, the light and the dark were not one. Now, this may just be her speaking in her own language, but there was no light and dark to begin with. It was just the one world. And we still don't know what the ringing was, or whatever it was that, I think, presumably drove all the ancients nuts, and they started summoning things, and I think a lot of them summoning, or all of them, whatever, summoning like their worst fears. And then I think it was during that time the Convocation summoned Zodiark to deal with it all. And I don't remember all the details of that, because they summoned Zodiark, but I think they had to, like, sacrifice like half of the world to do that. And then they needed to summon another, or to sacrifice another half to do something. Maybe that, at some point, an offshoot broke off to summon Hydaelyn. I don't remember all the reasons for it. Again, that's why I look forward to getting back into Shadowbringers. But anyway, that's when Hydaelyn was summoned. So, the darkness came before the light. They weren't once one and broke off. So, the question is Hydaelyn being dishonest here? Or is it just what Hydaelyn knows of what went on? Because that's one of the things we still don't know, is, like, what is Hydaelyn's intention? And what is, because we're effectively tempered by Hydaelyn. But as far as we know, we're not like like a thrall, like all other tempered are. But in a way we are. I mean, because we're, or I'll say we're not any less, I think, a thrall than the Ascians to Zodiark. You know, because we don't, like, the Ascians nor us come across as, like, kind of mindless zealots. Like many of the tempered are. But at the same time, we fight just as zealously for our God. I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. It's interesting now to, and I don't even know, like, obviously the first time I see this, it's years and years and years before we, you know, as we get more and more information, where now I'll be getting it more quickly, or, you know, re-attaining it more quickly. But I don't even know that I'll be able to hold on to it all as I go. But two other things I wanted to mention was, one, Minfilia's voice is so much better this time. Just, there's more, like, inflection in the voice. I was going to say emotion, but it's not like there was any emotion really in it. It was just inflection. Her voice, you know, had ebbs and flows to it, where I felt like the original voice for Minfilia was much more monotone. So it just sucks that, like, when Minfilia is basically taken away from us, she gets a much better voice actor. I mean, as they all are. But, and then just the other, it's just kind of a whatever comment I wanted to make, is I love the outfit they gave her, and it's still something I want to get. I've just, it's on the Mog station, but I just haven't gotten it because it's like no job I've played. Basically, to me, it's like you need to play like a healer to really, like, if you're not just gonna like RP with it, because it basically looks like a nightgown or whatever, like it, but, like, you know, for me, it's not something I would wear as a Dark Knight, or, I mean, maybe you could go for it as a dancer, but it's not really my look for a dancer. And I don't know that there's anything else, you know, it's not like I would wear that as like a machinist or a ninja or, you know, something like that. But I could see it as a healer, particularly as a white mage, and it might, you know, depending on the way the new liths look and everything, you know, the various, because we've only seen one look for them, or glamour, as you might want to call it. You know, I might be able to come up with a sage glamour that works with that piece of gear. But anyway, let us continue. 'Tis a blessed few who get to choose how and when and for what they die. Not that you need reminding, I suppose, but that boy, ugh. For all the suffering he has known, he still clings to the notion that there is a cosmic justice, a morality by which we are saved or condemned, and there isn't. Yeah, I mean, it's both one of the, I guess, vices and virtues of Alphino, you know, is that, I mean, I talked about it before, but that almost, like, that ignorant optimism, I guess, that there's a better word for it. I can't think of it, but that idealism that he has, it's a bit of an overzealous idealism, but as long as he's not the driving force, but just an influence for somebody else that is a driving force, I think it's fine. But when you're the driving force with that type of mentality, you tend to move without thinking, without critical thinking, without thinking of the consequences of your actions. Anyway. She's not coming back, is she? What will you say? She did what she thought was best. What now? She did what she thought was best. I know that, I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice, the loss. I mean, you know, welcome to the, I don't know, you know, the ponderings, the conundrums, the duality of war, you know. This war of ours. Alphino has reached a decision. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Flamen. Yeah, see, I don't like that. No good ever comes of that. I mean, because what do you expect to happen? You know, to just leave, like, I mean, you know, this is the case of that overzealous, like, optimism or idealism, like, as if the only thing I can think of is he's thinking we'll find a way to save her. I mean, even if we do, and even if it's quickly, like, it's still better to let them know. Yeah, I don't like that type of mentality. I think it's better just to let everybody know, and you know, you can still continue with the optimism or whatever, but I will brief Tatru on what we have learned, as well as Urianger. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Lavenza, after all you have done, I would say you have earned a rest. Ah, but speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Emmerich while you were away. 'Twould seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit. Pray take some time to rest. I think I may as well. Oh, and should you decide to visit Sir Emmerich at the congregation, do be sure to give him my regards. Well, check on Matoya again. So you've seen to the primal, have you? Very good. Mayhap I can now return to my own research without Stola barging in and asking me to hold her hand with every little thing. That's... Okay, that's probably... That has nothing to do with what we're doing now. And I don't even know exactly what it's... The last part, I think, was dealing with Alexander, but... Okay, so... Yeah, that's one unfortunate thing. Like, because clearly she would not have said that at this actual point in the game. So I don't know why they decided to... You know, there's a weird disconnect sometimes with NPCs and what they say versus where you're actually at in New Game Plus. But this is good. We're starting to get into the meat, you know, of this story now. You know, the Hydaelyn Zodiarch stuff. Ah, Mr. Shark. The Lord Commander left instructions that you were to be shown inside.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples.
Falcon's Nest.
You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the Worm's ire, but if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change.
Ooh. Need to rest, my dude.
Tis nothing. Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the Zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there, seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. 'Twould not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all.
All right, this is when...
Oh, and one more thing. A drink! We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
What's with the reaction? That was a weird reaction to being asked for, for a drink. What was that supposed to signify? I mean, it was like a kind of a pained or upset look. I mean, was she just thinking of Urshafal? I mean, we had like tea with, he served tea or something like that, but I don't know. But anyway, shit's about to go down. So let us be about that. Oh yeah, they got the people setting it up there. The Lord Oh. The Lord Commander said you would come, Lavenza. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The Masons labor day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Emmerich wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with the result. 'Twas not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you. Staunch conviction. Lucy is concerned that you seem to be looking for something to do. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Artoirel and Amanelaine, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Low-born youth. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risks his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter, too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things. And he'll do it by the fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand. We've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Yeah, so it looks like we're just talking to the locals before we get to Artois and Amanelaine. I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Mr. Shark, and fear not. I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravinian ambassador to a peace conference. Okay, are we going to have to deal with that? How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Ha! And here I am, laboring to make it so. Lord Artois, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Ooh, what's going on? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravinians bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury, take me. They would defy Sir Emeric's commands if they dare attack Vidofnir. It will not come to that. But to see that it does not, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a lord of House Fortin present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Emanuele while I am away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child. But recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty. A simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Thank you all for watching this video. Tonight's stream, and particularly the story, has been some of the best yet. I think this has gotten the biggest reaction out of me so far. It's just been phenomenal. And if you want to come and join me to experience it as well, the link to my Twitch is down below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you again. And you have a good one.